Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a brand new episode of my podcast, This Girl Shoots. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about investing in your photographer, which is a topic that I promised I was going to cover on my IG page the other day. And that's what I'm going to bring to you today in this episode. So, what you want to do to make sure that you're getting a good photographer to actually invest your hard-earned money in is to make sure they're qualified to do the kind of work that you want them to do. Do you want them to do some type of real estate job, real estate photography, or like any type of real estate drone photography? Are you looking for a wedding photographer? These are questions you need to ask yourself because you need to be able to know if they're going to do the job. Just because they have a professional camera and they have an IG page doesn't mean that they are qualified to do the specific kind of work that you want them to do. Photography, just like any other genre, is specialized, so you have to work on it. Just because I know how to take portraits doesn't necessarily mean I know how to take, wildlife photography or real estate or food photography. This kind of thing really depends on the style that you're looking for. What is their style? Do they edit photos, dark and grungy or light and airy? The ways you can actually figure this out is to look on their IG page, their Facebook if they have any. If they have Snapchat, a lot of photographers post their work on Snapchat. So, and also the website. You always have to look what are they posting on different types of social media websites, because some photographers like to post their light and airy stuff on Instagram, but for example, their website has more of that dark and grungy feel, or like grainy. You never really know. So you want to take a look at what the photographer has done in the past with their editing styles and what they're doing now and make your decisions based on that. Another thing you want to look at is what niche they specialize in. Like how I was mentioning earlier, do they specialize in food photography? If they specialize in food photography, you know that you can't hire them for, wedding photography to be your wedding photographer. And if you do, it should be because they do wedding photography professionally too. Not just one or two weddings, but you want someone with more experience. They've done second shooting, third shooting before for a wedding. You don't really want, first timers, unless you're really a nice person trying to give that person a chance. But I'd say stay on the safe side if you're looking for a wedding photographer, to look for someone who's experienced and who actually loves their job and loves what they do, and they want to please you with all their photographs and just the general whole experience that you are investing. Because when you're investing in a photographer, you're not investing in them really. You're investing in yourself to make sure that you have the peace of mind that you were getting good qualified work that you paid for and that you were promised by your chosen photographer or photographers, and even videographers in this case. Another thing is, are they in your area? Now, a part of investing in your photographer is, if they are not in your area, are you willing to pay for them to come to your area to, photograph your wedding, film your wedding, do this, do that for you? And you want to make sure, if they're not in your area, make sure that they are willing to travel. And if not, I'd still say invest in them if you're sure that this is a good decision to hire this person to do this kind of work for you. Now, my personal favorite to know of when you're investing in a good photographer is reading their reviews about them. Reading their past reviews, from a couple years ago, gradually up until now. What are people saying about their work? What are people saying about, this photographer's or videographer's personality? You don't want to be surprised. And if they run their sessions a certain type of way, people will talk about that in their comment sections on social media, their blogs if they have any, or like on Google reviews if the photographer has that set up. And a lot of photographers will have their reviews posted in one of their highlight stories on Instagram, and that's what I do. And it's a really fast, convenient way for you to look through and try to get a feel of how it's like working with this photographer if you've never worked with them before. You get to experience and imagine what it's like when you haven't been in the reviewer's shoes, if that makes sense. And based on these reviews, you can determine if they're a good person to work with, if you like their style or how they run their shoots. Usually, some photographers will post behind the scenes of how they run their shoots, but don't always bet on that. So, but reading reviews is always a good thing for any profession, honestly. And you're going to find out a lot of things. And yeah. The last and final thing you need to do in order to make sure you are investing in a good photographer that you need, that will provide everything for you that you're looking for your session, your wedding, your whatever you're trying to look for, is to get on the phone with them, or better yet, meet with them in person to get their vibe, their energy before you sign any kind of contract or give them any kind of, deposit or anything, because it's just really important. I have phone calls with my clients before I even make the contract for them with whatever I'm doing with them, with their portrait sessions. I talk with them on the phone and ask, what are you guys looking for? What are the goals that you want to accomplish? And I do this with every single client, you guys. And if they don't want to get on the phone, like if the client doesn't want to get on the phone, that's fine. But meeting in person is a lot better if they have time to add you into their schedule and to talk about details about what you want, different kinds of pricing that the photographer is offering, so you won't be surprised or hit with a huge price that is worth investing in your photographer. Huge prices don't always mean you're investing in the right photographer. It just means, hey, does this person have the same values as I do? Do they understand what I want? Do they understand what I need, the client's needs? That is a very important part in communication, which is something you can do over the phone, like how I do with my clients, or in person. Okay, so that was it for this podcast. I'm glad I got to talk to you guys about investing in your photographer and how to go about doing that. And within the right time, you will find the right photographer for you, whether it's me or someone else. And if you're not having any luck with any photographers, just keep looking. There are hundreds of photographers in your area, I believe, and also around the country or around the world that you will click with and will understand your needs and will be able to provide those amazing services for you that is worth your time, your effort, and your money. Have a great day, everybody.